Hello, welcome, Cabbage here. So I've got a few requests for this video today, and I used to make a lot of videos like this. This is a list video. These are one of my favorite kinds to make, and this one will be about top 10 max lux to make for intermediate players. And this is like an extension of an idea that I put out there in my to-do list for beginners video. I listed the first 5 max lux in there. Sanctuary Dragon, which you get for free, and then Lilith, Jiraiya, and one other. Soulwing. Those are also monsters that you get for free playing the normal quests. And then the last one was Queen Butterfly. Those are the first 5 max lux I recommend for anybody. And then, yeah, these next 10, they are all extreme quests, and they're kind of... I chose them for sort of general use. Not because they're good for like high-level quests, but just because they're very useful, versatile, like lots of null abilities, and they could be useful to use with stronger Hatcher monsters that you have. And then the way that I chose them, I picked 1 bounce, 1 pierce for every element, so that's exactly 10. Okay, so first let's look at fire bounce monsters. And the one that I recommend here is Tsuchinoko. And then what are you looking for when you make a max luck, especially like an extreme max luck? You can't really count on these guys for damage, so don't worry about that. What you do want is like a high HP, just to help support the rest of your team. You would like a blast bump combo. If you have strong Hatcher monsters with strong bump combos, you want to get those out more often. And then, like, 2 null abilities or more would be great. Also, high speed, just so that you can get around, you know, grab hearts, set off more bump combos. Those would be good. And then Tsuchinoko here, he's got high HP, so that's nice. 25, I'd call that super tank status. Blast bump combo, and double null ability, flight null gravity barrier. That's a very versatile double null ability. You can use that lots of places. And no gauge, which I personally really like. And then especially for like extreme max lux like this, you might want to use them a lot in very easy quests. Like if you're trying to go after Divine Charles or Dragon Gems or something. And then having no gauge can kind of remove a little bit of the stress of playing through. Tsuchinoko is a 5-star and under quest, so you kind of have to look at what you got, and then you might not have a 90 luck. But even then, I would say it's worth to go through and make the max luck of this guy. And then all of these max lucks, I believe, are in the library. So they are easy to make, I would say. Yeah, so that is Tsuchinoko. Oh, and one thing about 5-star and under quests, you can take impossible monsters in their base form. They're already 5-star, so you don't need to spend any materials to, you know, evolve them or ascend them. And then they're also maxed as far as stats, so you don't even need any Morlings in order to raise their stats. So just level them up, and they're ready to use in these 5-star and under quests. So that could be useful. Okay, next let's look at the Pierce Fire monster that I recommend, and that is Firefly. And the requirements that he fulfills, he has semi-high HP, very high speed at 445, double null ability, no gravity barrier, no block, and he is a Pierce. And then Pierce max lux are very important. They can grab hearts more easily, they can set off more bump combos. But for one very specific reason, they are better. And that is to use with Pandora Ascension. A Pierce monster can hit Pandora Ascension and then keep moving around, and then Pandora will shoot out those shots all over the screen. And yeah, that's been a very popular, very powerful technique for a while now, and it's still really, really good, even in you know, current quests. So that's why Pierce monsters especially have a lot of value. And yeah, again, for them, we want high speed, which is what Firefly has. He is also a 5-star and under quest, so be aware of that. Okay, next, let's look at Water Bounce monsters. And then my pick for The top one here is Fox Metal. He has the Blast Bump combo, basically. But he is one of the very few extreme drop monsters who can do lots and lots of damage, and that's with his Strike Shot. He creates that wrestling ring and then moves around inside there. But if you get him stuck in between like a wall and a boss, then you can do a hit stop, and then maybe just clear the stage outright. But yeah, very solid. He's kind of in that family of Max Lux like Death's Arc or Basilisk or guys like that. Slow guys that are powerful with a Blast Bump combo. So yeah, he's my top pick for Water Bounce Max Lux. And then for Pierce, I recommend, let's see, Kai. And then he recently got a buff. His evolution version has null damage wall, null block. So the double null is nice. And then he's got a Meteor Strike Shot, that's pretty good. He's not super great for pulling Pandora because his speed is a little bit low. You could go for the Ascension version, a little bit more speed. Loses null block, but picks up the Fiend Slayer. So yeah, either of those versions I think would be pretty good. Okay, next let's look at Wood Bounce. And then my pick here is probably not going to be very popular. But I really like Giga Fighter. And yeah, quest is not too difficult, you just need null damage wall monsters. And then they are good because they have a double null, no warp, no block. And then I pick them mostly because they're easy to make, and then they have a strong bump combo. It's the lock-on Pierce Wave, which is one of the best bump combos that extreme drop monsters can get. So yeah, very low attack, but the bump combo can be a good source of damage. And then for a Wood Pierce, I recommend Bubble Boy here. He's another 5-star and under monster, so you have to look at your box and see what you got. But he is a Pierce, double null, no wind, no warp. And he's kind of considered one of the best Max Lux for Nidaikanai. But also just in general, he's, you know, very good. He also has the lock-on Pierce Wave, which is again one of the best bump combos that a extreme drop monster can have. Okay, next let's look at Light Bounce. This is an oldie but goodie. Here is Jack Evolution, one of the oldest monsters, but still really good. He's a bounce with no gravity barrier, no warp. And that's a very versatile double null ability. He can actually be used as a Max Luck in all of the first 5 impossible missions. But lately he's been useful as well in recent impossible missions. You can use him in Karuma, you can use him in Kanan, that's a colossal quest. So even now he has some use. He's a very not a good damage source, but still very versatile and usable in easy quests as well. And then as for the Pierce, I am going to cheat, and I'm going to introduce 2. One of them is Skula Evolution, and then she's a Pierce. She's got good HP, good speed, with no warp, and then the Blast Bump combo. So if you wanted to use Pandora Ascension in warp quests, Skula here might be one of the best Max Lux for you. And then the other one I wanted to recommend was Sexy Roller Evolution. She also recently got a buff. She's a Pierce with no warp, no block, so she's got the double null. She does not have a Blast Bump combo, so if you needed that, maybe go for Skula. But yeah, she's got very high speed, and yeah, not too difficult a quest either. Okay, last, let's look at Dark Bounce monsters. And then the one that I recommend here, also an oldie but goodie, is Bastet Ascension. She's got very, very good stats for a drop monster. She only has the Minesweeper, but lots of places to use a Max Luck with Minesweeper. And a pretty strong Strike Shot as well. It's a Tackle Strike Shot that can do maybe 1,000,000 damage, so pretty strong. And then the Pierce monster that I recommend is going to be Kamaitachi. For this one you could do either version, I think. The Evolution version is a Pierce with no gravity barrier, very, very high speed, 460. Also a strong bump combo. It's the lock-on Shockwave. It does not pierce, but it does much more damage per shot. You could also go for the Ascension version. He's got a double null, null gravity barrier, null block. So yeah, pretty versatile, and yeah, pretty rare as well. Not a lot of extreme drop monsters have that double null ability. Okay, so those were my top 10 picks for extreme drop monsters to make after you finish the beginner max lux. And yeah, if you had any of your own favorites, feel free to leave them in the comments. I'm sure they will be helpful to someone. Okay, thanks for watching, and we'll see you again. Take care.